Welcome to Beyond Profile. Happy New Year to all. Today is January 10th, and we are into a new year and hopefully get some volume coming into the market this week. Take a look at the ES chart here. You can see that over the last 5 days we have a small balanced trading area that we're working on here, which again, balance will lead to some sort of an imbalanced state at some point here. And if you look at that little bitty balance here, it's pretty small. We did get some retest of the prior breakout here of 64s last week, 62s into the prior value area high there. The current midpoint, if you will, or the point of control that we are dealing with this current 4-day balance area is 74s here. If you look at, if you do a little composite of that, you would see that the point of control, it actually kind of shows up there on the profiles. It is volume coming in at the highs here, so 74s up at these highs outside of the current balance area of this structured area. Now, what do we have to the top side? We've been talking about 1300, 1300, 1300, and you know it's such a close target now. The only thing stopping us is this pivot here, which is the 1283 pivot, and that comes back from last quarter there in the markets. Now, Friday we opened, we had the jobs number. It actually traded up to it like 82 and a quarter, 82.50. Never did take it out. Never did take it out. So we still have that as a main focal point here. But the way that this is balancing here, Alcoa came out with earnings last night, and they actually missed, but they didn't sell off either. I mean, you look at a daily chart of Alcoa and you ask yourself, you know, how much can it go lower here other than going back to the '08 levels? So with that being said, you know, again, we got key levels here. 69 has been supported here now several times when we've come back the last few days. We have the top end of this, which would be, you know, 79s here, and above that pivot really takes us right to 1300. And if you look way off here to the left from the August gap down, you have 14s, which would be a technical gap fill, 1314, and then the bottom side of it is 1309. And into this area here, again, 1299s, you can see where the volume starts to come back in. So 1300s, guys, on the upside if this breaks. And again, this small balance area of 5 days will give way to a break, just like it did when we came back from the new year. When we closed up shop on that last Friday of the year, what did we have going on here? We had a balanced trade. We knew that this would lead to an imbalanced state. We gapped open New Year's Day, or the day after New Year's. And that's where we've been basically hovering back and forth within this range. Not much of anything going on. Small balance area, about 10 points. But again, this will give way to some sort of an imbalanced state. And you know, obviously the preferred direction would be up because we are broken out of this prior 62.3 area here and looking like it wants to continue higher. Let's take a quick peek at the NASDAQ this morning. Here's the NASDAQ chart. This is kind of playing catch up here. Since the November highs, if you really look at it, again, almost somewhat similar. We were back, you know, 2400 area here. The Nasdaq's had a nice little winning streak here the last few days. The last high volume node we had was 2305s, and that has held very nicely. It's almost the midpoint of this prior balance area here. Rallied, you know, and again, what do we have above us here? Not much. There's that prior pivot high here at 2369. Above that, you might as well call for 2400s. That would put us all the way back up to these prior pivots from October here. So pullbacks right now on the NASDAQ, again, 5-day balance area. This is looking, you know, really nice here. It continues to move higher. The S&P is consolidating. This is playing catch up, so it's really doing a nice job of you know, wanting to get back to these prior highs. Remember this whole area, and this was a very nice balance area that we had here before, in which we broke down from it and, you know, went all the way back down to 2137s. Now we're dealing with working our ways back into this, and there's not much here off to the left. I mean, it's pretty much the market takes off on the ES to the top side. This is going to be pulled right up with gravity here. Remember, we are getting into earnings season here. So earnings season again could get us the imbalance state that we're looking for, some movement in this market to ignite us either up and out to new highs, or we're going to fail and you know, head back down to some of these lower areas in the market. Keep in mind on the NAS we do have a gap where the S&P almost filled the gap. It's a pretty big gap here. From the to the tail of that would be a whole number back to that close was almost 25 points. So it's a pretty good sized gap there in the NASDAQ. Although you still got one left over here. although that one, again, we had this island bottom reversal where we had gapped open, traded higher. This one down here is still open too. So eventually they will get, hopefully filled. If not, then we just keep them on our chart. So anyways, looking for the markets to continue unless we get some bad news out. Hopefully we get a pickup in volume this week. The last few weeks obviously has been low because of the holidays, and even yesterday, first day of the week trading, Monday was very light volume. So looking forward to seeing some sort of an increase in volume this week. Have a great trading day, everyone. We'll see you in the room.